Hello there. So Aaron and I are looking at about 7 a.m. right now. We've been up since 5 a.m. Not quite had enough coffee yet, but it's time to load the car. We are headed out on Hot Rod Power Tour, which is a 7-day, 7-city road trip with thousands of hot rods that we do most every year. And we are doing a quick episode to show you guys what we pack and also how we prep our car for a summer road trip. If you're jumping in the car to go on a summer road trip and you have a normal car, there will be some tips here for you. We drive somewhat of a race car, so we're taking like spare parts and tools, which the normal person probably wouldn't need for their vehicle. But here is the rundown of what we take and how we prepare our car for a road trip. This is my GTO named Roxy, and this is what we are going to be taking on the tour. So I just said it's a 7-day, 7-city road trip. It's actually 5 days, 5 cities. We pulled it up on the website because we were like, wait, we have 5 hotels booked, not 7. So yes, 5 days, 5 cities. And you know what? It is such a fun event. If you're a gearhead at all, put it on your bucket list. It is a neat experience to cruise the country, rural back roads. It's just such a neat experience with a whole bunch of other hot rods. So super fun. The first thing that I'm going to do is give my car a mechanical once-over. And if you've never done this on your car, it can actually be quite simple and give you a huge sense of accomplishment. So I strongly encourage you to give it a shot. The first thing I'm going to do is check my tire pressure on all 4 corners. While I'm doing that, I'm going to be sure that each of my tires has tread. If I have a bald tire and I don't realize it, I could have a blowout on the road, and that would just be highly unfortunate and not a fun way to spend a road trip. Once I've figured out that all of my tires have the proper air pressure, I will move on to checking my fluids. The first thing I'm going to start with is coolant. Because it is summertime, I want to be sure that my car has coolant because that can help fight overheating and has proper cooling. If I need a little bit, I might top it off. I'll also check my coolant levels on my supercharger intercooler system. I will find my oil dipstick and whip it out. Make sure that my engine has the proper amount of oil. Another thing I like to check are my windshield wipers. You don't think about them until you need them. And if your windshield wipers are brittle and cracked and gross and it's pouring down rain, you're going to thank yourself for replacing them with some fresh wiper blades. The next thing that we're going to do is, before we pack our trunk full of stuff, I'm going to be sure that my spare tire has air in it. This has happened to us before. We think that we're prepared. We run over a nail and we lose tire pressure, or we have a blowout, and then we go to grab our spare tire and it's flat. So that is something that we don't want to get into. Anytime you're heading out for a road trip, check and be sure that your spare has air. Another thing you can do while you're down there is be sure that your factory jack and your lug wrench is there. You know, a lot of times we'll use it and then not put it back, and it doesn't end up back in the car when we need it. So make sure that you have everything you need. My spare could use some air. And what I'm going to do, instead of pulling the air hose all the way over here, is I'm going to use my jump box. This is something that is highly important to take on a road trip. This is like our most important component whenever we jump in the car and go somewhere. This guy right here, and you get what you pay for when it comes to these guys. This one has a jump box if you need a battery jump start, or if you find someone on the road that does, you could be a good Samaritan. It also has charging ports for your phone. If you end up in a pickle and you need to charge your phone, you can do that here. And it's also an air compressor. So I'm going to utilize the air compressor function and add a little bit of tire pressure to my spare. This particular box came from our friends at CRC Auto. We have used it so much. We took it on the boat with us and used it there. These things just come in handy, and even if you don't need it yourself, you're kind of a hero when someone does need it and you can just pull it out of your car. Can't speak highly enough of these. And if you are in the market for one, you can get 25% off of almost everything at Advance Auto. You'll find that discount code in the description. This is another cool feature of this box, is you can add air to an air up mattress or a floaty or anything you need to put air in. If you go up with the switch, you get air here, and if you go down, you get your air compressor. All right, that's all we need. Okay, so since we've done a mechanical once-over on the car, that is what I'm gonna suggest for the average person to do on their car before they hit the road, and to pick up one of these awesome jump boxes that has so many uses and will definitely come in handy when you need it. From there, we are going to start loading all the stuff that we feel like we need because we're driving a hot rod across the country. So we're of course gonna load this guy up. We're gonna bring some rags. We've got chairs because when we get to the venue, we always like to kick back a little bit. Here, I've got an extra fuel pump for my car. You never know. Extra spark plugs if we want to do some spark plug swaps in a hotel parking lot. That's always fun. If you start wrenching on something in a hotel parking lot on Power Tour, you're sure to have a whole bunch of people come hang out with you and talk cars. It's really fun. Gloves are highly convenient when you're on the road, especially if you have a car that's broken down on the side of the road and everything is hot from running. You're gonna want gloves to work on stuff because it's not fun to burn yourself. I love these grip mats because if you're taking something apart, it's really convenient to have somewhere to put nuts and bolts where they don't fall down in the engine compartment and they're gone forever. Take some basic wiring stuff. We take Gorilla Tape or duct tape, whatever tape that you desire. Whoa, almost done. If you have it, you won't need it, right? Yeah. We have this awesome new tool bag from Sonic. I'm going to unfold this and put a whole bunch of tools in there because we never know what we'll need. It's gonna be great to have options. Take a couple cans of Brakleen because this stuff comes in handy not only for brake jobs, but for cleaning grease. There's all kinds of uses for Brakleen, even though CRC says it's just for brakes. It's for a lot of things. It's really, really great stuff. Bring in some extra peak coolant. We also bring the power probe just in case we have any wiring issues. It's so nice to have a power probe so you can test stuff. Send power to something if you feel like it may not be receiving proper power. You can send power with the power probe. Such a nice tool. We also bring walkie-talkies. A lot of times you gather a crew of people that all want to cruise together. Some people have walkie-talkies, some people don't. It's so nice to be able to have a walkie-talkie where you're not trying to call or text. Much safer to have those. These are from Rugged Radios. They are such high quality units. We cannot speak highly enough of Rugged Radios. You get what you pay for when it comes to all of that equipment, and those are awesome. This is another kind of great tool. These are the clamps that clamp off hoses. That way you don't lose your fluid or your pressure in lines. So if we need these, that will suck, but if we don't need them, that will be very convenient. Another really great thing to have on hand are good flashlights. This particular flashlight is a new one to us. It's from Flight Outfitters. They are an aviation-based company. Man, do they make some awesome stuff. This particular flashlight is extremely bright and it has a battery pack in it. It also has an SOS light if you need that. It's got a lot of really, really cool features. We're really thankful to have this on hand in case we need it. This new tool bag from Sonic is so killer. It's got so many areas to store your tools, and I love the rubber base that makes it stand up on its own. Super sturdy, high quality. The back is nice and padded for when you're carrying your tools around. We're gonna use this so much. This is awesome. All right, we got it all loaded up. All the tools, all of our bags, all of our necessary components that we need, and it is time to hit the road on Power Tour. If you guys are going on a summer road trip, please tell us what you're doing down in the comment section. We'd love to hear. And of course, if you have additional information or guidance for folks that are headed out on the road, drop your ideas below, because we love YouTube experts to chime in below. Thank y'all so much for watching, and we will see y'all on the next video.